What up, world? It's your boy Mike B, and I'm back with another episode of This Is Real Rap. Now, this episode right here is called Run the Race or Watch. And what I mean by that is, it's 2017. Everybody done put 2016 to bed, and they saying, you know what? 2017 is going to be the year that I chase my dream, that I finally get up the courage to write that book, get up the courage to record that album, get up the courage to go after my doctorate, get up the courage to even go to college. I'ma chase my dream and live my dream through my purpose, right? That's what people want to do in 2017. Now, it's a word for those type of people. They call it dream chasers. A dream chaser is somebody that once they get it in their head, right? Once they lock on and say, this is what I'm gonna do, they're gonna do it at all costs. And dream chasers are like athletes. They like track athletes, right? And they always practicing. Now, they don't even have to be physically fit. They're practicing to become emotionally, spiritually, and mentally fit, because that is what it's going to take to get you from the starting line to the finish line. And we all got to start at the starting gate. And once that gun sounds, you take off down that track towards your destiny, through your purpose. And once you get to that finish line, and you see your dream revealed, that's what happiness is, right? To know that I did something that I said that I was gonna do. Now, dream chasers, they don't make excuses. It don't matter if they sick. It don't matter if they financially crippled. It don't matter if they emotionally crippled. It don't matter. Dream chasers, like any superior athlete, is gonna get it done no matter what, right? Now, you got another type of person in this scenario, the spectator. The spectator is the person who sits up in the stands and watches as the dream chasers run up and down the track toward their destiny, toward their dreams. And they even root them on. And they say things like, oh, that's my boy, that's my girl. Yeah, that may be your boy or your girl, right? So it's admirable that you root them on, but one day you got to come out of those stands, march down to that track, and get in the race. How can you expect to ever get to the finish line if you never get in the race? Tell me that. How can you finish the race if you never enter it, right? But a lot of people, a lot of the spectators, they doubt themselves. They got too much doubt. Dream chasers don't have doubt. And if they do have doubt, their will, their desire, and their determination to win will supersede that doubt every time, right? But you always gonna have one spectator, or more than one, but you're gonna have a spectator who says, you know what? It's a new year. It's a new day and a new time. I'm about to come up out these stands, get up off my ass, go down to that track, and I'm going to become an athlete, right? So they prepare themselves by getting emotionally, spiritually, and mentally fit. They might even get physically fit if that's what they need to do. So they come on down to the track. Now they about to run their race. The race ain't won by the fastest. This could be a marathon. So it could take you a while to get there. It don't matter, long as you run the race. So, bow, that gun sounds. And they go to take off, can't move. They can't move. They look down and they notice, ain't no track, ain't no road. It's just abyss, it's just black. But they can see the light in the distance of the finish line, but it's no road to travel on. So they look over to their spiritual guide, right? And when I say spiritual guide, I mean whoever is moving you. That could be God, that could be Allah, that could be Buddha, that could be the universe. It could be your eternal self, your internal self, whatever. We won't get caught up in the politics of that. You look over to your spiritual guide, and let's call him God. You say, hey, God, how do I get from this starting line to the finish line, and there's nowhere to run on? He say, just build yourself a road. And you say, how am I going to build a road? Easy, brick by brick. So you looking at him, scratching your head. What do you mean brick by brick? Brick by brick. So you ask him, where am I supposed to get these bricks? And he gives you an answer. You just keep living. So now you deterred a little bit. So you go back to living your life, right? And anytime you living in your life, you're going to go through things. So you losing jobs, you losing relationships, you struggling with finances, but you got the dream right here. You got the dream that you want to get in that race. It stays right here, but you still going through things. Your car breaks down, your kids not acting right in school. And before you know it, you look down and in your hand, you got two bricks. Those bricks have a name, trial and tribulation, right? So you take those two bricks over to the starting line and you lay them down. So you look over to your spiritual guide like, okay, I see. Now you go back to living, right? And you're going through more things. You're going through more pain, sickness. You lost your house. You had a failed marriage. You look down in your hand and you got 2 more bricks of trial and tribulation. So you lay those bricks and you keep on living, getting more trial and tribulation, more trial and tribulation, until before you know it, you 50 yards away from where you started. And you can see the finish line. It's in the distance, right? And you can smile a little bit like, man, I'm almost there. So all you got to do is keep waking up and keep the dream right here and keep going through those trials and those tribulations, because those are the only thing that's going to give you the bricks that you need to build your life. You got to understand, you are walking on your life, right? You are a walking testimony to everything you've been through. Every brick is a memory. Every brick is a failed attempt. Every brick is pain. Every brick is hurt. Every brick is everything you've been through. And this is the only way you can get from that starting gate to that finish line. And before you know it, you're going to look up one day and you're going to be 5, 4, 3, 2 yards from the finish line. Next thing you know, you lean in and bam, you cross the finish line. And you've published that book, right? Or you got your doctorate, or you recorded your first album, whatever your dream was, and you happy just to be living in this moment, because still it's a lot of your friends that's still spectators up there in the stands, but not you. You decided to get in the race. But then the strangest thing happens to you. You look over to the left, and right there, on your road, on your track is a hurdle. And you're thinking, why is it a hurdle at the finish line? And then something else happens. One of your friends comes up fast on the right, goes right past you, right into the dark. And you look up and it's a light further down the road. So you say, I'm gonna follow him, but you can't. It's no more road. You at your finish line. Somebody else comes up on the left and they keep running. And you wonder to yourself, where are they going? And why is it a hurdle in my finish line? Next person comes up, you jump in front of them, you say, hey brother, where you going? And they say, I'm going to greatness. And you say, how can you be going to greatness? Because we at the finish line right here. All our dreams are right here. How can you be going to greatness? The person points over to the hurdle and says, brother, to the average person, this is a finish line. But to anybody seeking to be great, this is just the first hurdle. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is just the first hurdle. Too many times people see their dreams realized and think that that portion of the dream is all there is. You can open up a boutique and you can drop to your knees and say, thank you, God, for helping me get to this place of owning this boutique. You even wave to the spectators, because some of them is your friends. Thank you for supporting me. I've got my boutique. No, if you want to be great, now you're thinking this is just the first hurdle. I got the boutique. This is the first hurdle. I want to own a chain of boutiques from here to California. That's what great people do. Great people don't have a finish line. Mike Berry will never get to the finish line. I've published books. That was a hurdle. I've recorded albums. That was a hurdle. I've made movies. That was a hurdle. But I want to find my place in the halls of greatness and stand alongside the Denzel Washingtons and the Tupacs and the Dr. Dre's and anybody else who really moving and shaking like I like, right? And say, I want to go where they're at. I want to be where they're at. And that's going to take greatness. And greatness dictates that I can't have a finish line. I got to constantly be seeking greatness. So I got to keep jumping over hurdles, because hurdles going to always appear. But guess what? To add more road, I got to go through what? More trial and more tribulation. But that's okay, because nobody ever told a different story. Go ask anybody who's famous, who's considered great, how many failures they went through, how much pain they went through, how much heartbreak they went through, and how much loneliness they went through. Hey, because it's a lonely race, you got to run it by yourself pretty much. And always remember, heavy is the head that wears the crown. You got to decide if you want to just get to the finish line, or if you want to be great. I want to be great. And I know most of you want to be great as well. But to do that, you got to get in the race. You got to come up out those stands and get in the race. This is Mike B. This is Real Rap.